空始祖。
说什么他也要学识星，
竟活着18000万年。
我罗峰向你挑战，那正是我想要的。
但即便如此，也并不意味都2个纪元了。
一切都在盛传，我怕了。不过，
一个当老师的都没这么大手笔。
Swallowed Star Episode 219. After 180 million years of seclusion, Luo Feng defeats the Ancestor with a single move, winning a supreme treasure set. 2 top-tier forces stand behind him. Within the Starry Sky Beasts Alliance, Luo Feng met an Ancestor whose strength had reached the level of a universe strongest. Afterward, he was arranged to undergo a trial lasting 100,000 epochs. During this period, as long as Luo Feng could defeat the Ancestor, he would pass the trial and obtain a reward, the supreme treasure set of the Beast God lineage. At this moment, Luo Feng had already entered the Beast God world, where he cultivated in seclusion for 180 million years. Throughout these long years, he remained fully devoted to studying the 8 secret pattern diagrams of the Beast God of Gold. Day after day of relentless research made it seem as though he was constantly accompanied by the Beast God itself. His familiarity with these diagrams reached an almost unimaginable level. After accumulating insights for 180 million years, Luo Feng suddenly entered a special state. He completely forgot himself. It was as if he had become the Beast God roaming the universe, battling enemies in the endless void, and ultimately falling in battle. He experienced the Beast God's emotions, instincts, and survival drive. In this state, he fell into a deep sleep. This sleep lasted 1,000 years. During this time, both his earthling body and his nether sea incarnation also fell into dormancy. No one could contact him. While asleep, he lived entirely as the Beast God, experiencing a transcendent mode of existence. 1,000 years later, Luo Feng slowly opened his eyes. For a moment, he could not distinguish whether he was Luo Feng or the Beast God. Only when hundreds of millions of years of human memories resurfaced did he fully awaken. Yet the experience of becoming the Beast God remained incredibly vivid, allowing him to re-enter that state with ease. This meant that unintentionally, he had comprehended the most elusive concept within the Beast God path, the heart of the Beast God. From the peak of the mountain, the Ancestor witnessed this scene and sighed in amazement. The heart of the Beast God was the critical bottleneck of the 7th stage of the Beast God path inheritance. Many universe overlords could only remain at the pseudo-Beast God stage, unable to reach the true Beast God realm. Yet Luo Feng, without deliberately pursuing it, achieved this naturally through long-term accumulation and the bloodline of the golden-horned beast. After comprehending the heart of the Beast God, Luo Feng once again immersed himself in studying the 8 secret pattern diagrams. Using a miniature universe secret pattern diagram as the ultimate template, he attempted to create a secret technique. Under the influence of the Beast God's heart, many connections between lore threads emerged spontaneously. Without deliberate thought, just like the Beast God's instinctive way of surviving in the universe. Suddenly, a streak of golden light tore through the heavens, forcibly ripping apart the frozen space and carving a trench millions of kilometers long across the land. This golden light was the phenomenon triggered by the secret technique Luo Feng had unintentionally created. Luo Feng was stunned. Previously, he could easily create universe venerable level techniques, and occasionally even ultimate techniques at the universe overlord level. But the power of this golden light far surpassed anything before. To verify its level, he flew toward a distant mountain range, where 3 ultimate techniques left behind by a universe master of the Starry Sky Beasts were engraved. He inscribed the secret patterns of his newly created technique onto the rock wall. The pressure it emitted was on par with the universe master's ultimate techniques nearby. This meant that through 180 million years of accumulation and the boost from the Beast God's heart, Luo Feng had inadvertently created an ultimate attack technique at the universe master level. The Ancestor sensed this and immediately sent a message to Sitting Mountain Guest in the original universe. When Sitting Mountain Guest arrived and saw Luo Feng's achievement, he was overjoyed. Even the Ancestor had to admit Luo Feng's talent and perseverance. Without any guidance, reaching such a level in just 180 million years was extraordinarily rare. The comprehension of the Beast God's heart not only removed a massive obstacle in his path, but also laid a solid foundation for his future breakthrough from Universe Overlord to Universe Master. Soon after Luo Feng challenged the Ancestor suggested that neither side use weapons. At first, Luo Feng was puzzled, but he quickly realized, after comprehending the beast god's heart, the distinction between warrior and spiritualist paths no longer existed. The beast god's claws and horns were weapons. So were his own limbs. During the battle, Luo Feng integrated his newly created Universe Master Ultimate technique into close combat. His movements were swift, his attacks ferocious like the descent of a true beast god. Although the Ancestor employed the strongest defensive method among peak Universe Master techniques, he was ultimately pierced through the chest by Luo Feng and admitted defeat. Seeing his disciple's complete transformation, Sitting Mountain Guest felt immense satisfaction. This cultivation in the beast god world had allowed Luo Feng to achieve a true qualitative leap. The Ancestor looked at Sitting Mountain Guest, who wore a proud smile. Luo Feng immediately stepped forward and bowed respectfully. Sitting Mountain Guest nodded with a smile, then brought up their earlier wager. This made Luo Feng instantly excited. He had long known the stakes. The Ancestor had wagered an entire Supreme Treasure set, while Sitting Mountain Guest had put up a peak Supreme Treasure. Since the Ancestor had lost, the treasure set now belonged to Luo Feng. Though reluctant, the Ancestor accepted the outcome and summoned a black beast silhouette in mid-air. It was a 100-meter-long black creature covered in intricately designed armor plates. Only when it descended did Luo Feng realize it was not a living being but a supreme treasure set. The Ancestor explained that this treasure was called the Beast God Armor. In the past, several Universe Strongest had fought fiercely over it. Sitting Mountain Guest had once ambushed and escaped with it, while the Ancestor himself had paid a heavy price to defeat his opponents and ultimately claim it. The Beast God Armor consisted of 526 Supreme Treasures, 521 Ordinary Supreme Treasures, 4 High-Level Supreme Treasures, 1 Top-Tier Supreme Treasure. When combined, its power was overwhelming. Every part of it could be used as a weapon, making it perfectly suited for those who followed the Beast God path. Luo Feng quickly stepped forward to thank him. With a wave of his hand, the Ancestor sent the armor toward Luo Feng. After imprinting his life mark onto it, the armor instantly disassembled. Hundreds of components merged into every part of the golden-horned beast divine body. In an instant, the golden-horned beast transformed into a pitch-black form. Its scales became blade-sharp and its fangs and horns grew dramatically. Even in its 1-meter miniature form, a half-meter core horn appeared atop its head. Luo Feng's consciousness erupted with excitement. He could clearly feel that his claws, tail, horns, every part of his body had become supreme treasures. The armor also granted defensive power, comparable to top-tier defensive armor, perfectly matching the Beast God path. The true name of this treasure set was Bayan. At this moment, Sitting Mountain Guest called Luo Feng aside and altered the surrounding laws of the universe. Clearly intending to speak with him privately, he first praised Luo Feng. To achieve such accomplishments within 180 million years had already far surpassed his second senior brother. Within 1,000 years, Luo Feng would inevitably break through to the universe venerable realm. Once he stepped into that threshold, he would be able to fully control the Star Tower. Taking the opportunity, Luo Feng asked whether the 5th black metal plate of the 9 Tribulations secret manual was another trial. Sitting Mountain Guest did not answer directly. He simply said that if Luo Feng could easily guess his master's methods, then he would not be qualified. He also pointed out that the 180 million years in the Beast God world had already provided sufficient tempering. As for the 5th metal plate, Luo Feng would naturally understand when the time came. Sitting Mountain Guest then urged Luo Feng to continue working hard. When the day comes that you can fully control the Star Tower, no one in the universe will dare underestimate you. After saying this, he turned to greet the Ancestor preparing to take Luo Feng away. However, the Ancestor suddenly appeared beside them and said he wished to speak with Luo Feng alone. The Ancestor spoke directly. "Have you ever considered leaving the human race?" This blunt attempt at recruitment surprised Luo Feng, but he immediately refused. His family relatives and roots were all deeply embedded within the human race. The humans of Earth had long become part of the greater human family, and the Luo family's lineage had spread everywhere. There was no way he could leave so easily. Realizing this, the Ancestor proposed another idea. He suggested that Luo Feng's golden-horned beast clone join the Starry Sky Beasts Alliance under the identity he had, previously used Golden Peak Venerable. This way, it would not affect anything within the human race, while allowing him to gain the backing of 2 top-tier forces simultaneously. In times of danger, he could seek help from either side. Luo Feng understood clearly. Joining a faction meant gaining protection, but also bearing responsibility. He also understood why the Ancestor was so eager to recruit him. With his current foundation, once he stepped into the Universe Venerable, or even Universe Master realm, his combat strength would become terrifying. A genius with such potential was something every force desired. Luo Feng nodded and agreed. At that moment, Sitting Mountain Guest walked over and immediately saw that the recruitment had succeeded. Without hesitation, he demanded benefits from the Ancestor on Luo Feng's behalf. He even emphasized that the beast god armor was part of the wager and could not be counted as a joining reward. The Ancestor felt rather helpless. Luo Feng already possessed a top-tier supreme treasure set normally no additional rewards should be granted. But he also acknowledged the importance of Luo Feng joining the alliance. Thus he asked what kind of weapon Luo Feng wanted. Luo Feng chose a blade. The Ancestor immediately teleported over a high-level supreme treasure saber named Zhan Yue. After receiving it, Luo Feng was extremely satisfied and thanked him on the spot. The Ancestor then gave Luo Feng a golden book containing information about the Starry Sky Beasts Alliance, including the usage of teleportation channels across various gathering locations. He instructed Luo Feng to visit the Starry Sky Divine Mountain when he had time, to obtain tokens from the two leaders of the Golden Horned Beast lineage. With those tokens, he could seek their help in the future if needed. With everything settled, the Ancestor directly manipulated space-time and sent Luo Feng and Sitting Mountain Guest back to the original universe. Sitting Mountain Guest first isolated the surrounding laws of the universe, then said, soon the laws would sense the change in Luo Feng's life gene level, triggering a transformation in his golden horned beast clone. His divine body would expand to the level of a perfect divine body. However, since he had already received a strongest innate secret technique, and each life only had one such opportunity, this transformation would not grant him a new one. Once he could control the Star Tower, the secret techniques within that supreme treasure would far surpass any innate ability. Sitting Mountain Guest then handed Luo Feng a stone token carved from green rock. After special refinement, it was comparable to an ordinary supreme treasure. Through it, Luo Feng could send messages to him. He then instructed Luo Feng to return to his divine kingdom as soon as possible. His divine body would grow from 1,000 kilometers to over 90,000 kilometers, requiring an immense amount of energy, something Luo Feng had to prepare himself. Luo Feng bowed and quickly returned to his divine kingdom. The moment he arrived, he felt the pressure of the universe's operating laws. The golden horned beast, clad in the beast god armor, stood above the nether sea and let out a thunderous roar. Its bones, muscles, and horns began rapidly expanding, while it frantically absorbed the vast divine power of the nether sea. The transformation toward a perfect divine body had begun. The golden horned beast strode across the nether sea. With the full armor set, its already ferocious appearance became even more terrifying. Luo Feng was filled with excitement. After reaching a perfect divine body, his overall divine power surged dramatically. His innate secret technique, I Am the Universe, could now be used at will. Within the miniature universe formed by the technique, his strength would rise to another level. After venting his exhilaration with a roar, Luo Feng set a new goal: find Xianxia Venerable of the mechanical race, now equipped with supreme treasures and a universe master-level ultimate technique. Dealing with Xianxia Venerable was practically guaranteed. He could also seize the opportunity to reclaim another pair of treasure wings. The only issue was locating him first. After making full preparations, Luo Feng left his divine kingdom for the primordial star, bringing along multiple clones. Through his nether sea clone, he could stay connected to the virtual universe at any time. His consciousness entered Hongmeng City within the virtual universe. However, once he walked away, people began whispering behind his back. They said that he had previously used entering the primordial star as an excuse to avoid lending his treasures. Yet the primordial star had been open for nearly 2 epochs, and he had never appeared. Many believed he lacked the strength to venture deep inside. Still, no one dared offend him openly. After all, he had slain Mirror King at the undying level. His future advancement to Universe Overlord was almost certain. Luo Feng ignored the gossip and went straight to New Zhou Venerable, asking him to help locate Xianxia Venerable. The two casually chatted over drinks about the changes on the primordial star over the past 20,000 years. At that moment, Manhwa Venerable was furiously scolding the ruler of the Qianwu universe country. He had recently fallen on the primordial star and had been revived by a universe master reversing spacetime, incurring a massive debt of 1.3 supreme treasure points. He urgently demanded repayment of the treasures owed by the Yanwu ruler, but the latter kept delaying, infuriating him to the point of repeatedly breaking through sound barriers set for privacy. Luo Feng was puzzled, so Nuzhou Venerable explained, reversing space-time to revive someone violated the laws of the universe. A universe master would suffer significant injuries for doing so, and the revived individual would owe an astronomical contribution debt. The situation of the Qianwu ruler was even worse. He had died 3 times in his life and had been revived all 3 times. Not only did he owe massive contributions to the race, but he also owed treasures to 6 universe venerables. His potential had long been exhausted, with almost no chance of advancing to universe overlord. He simply could not repay the debt. Now he could only remain within the Qianwu universe country, slowly earning contributions by managing territory and nurturing future generations. Though his situation seemed bleak, compared to weaker races whose members would be permanently erased upon death, being revived 3 times was already considered fortunate.